Why do you keep disappearing at night? I wake up and you're gone. Lami's heart raced as she watched Judah, hoping for an answer that would put her fears to rest. But as he avoided her gaze, giving the same tired excuse about checking the animals, Lami knew something deeper, something darker was hiding beneath his silence. Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Toba, there lived a young woman named Lami. She was kind, smart, and the daughter of the village healer. One day, Lami met Judah, a hard-working farmer who had recently moved to the village. Judah was tall and strong, with kind eyes that sparkled when he smiled. The villagers liked him because he was helpful and always willing to lend a hand. Lami and Judah soon became friends, which blossomed into something more. When they decided to get married, the whole village came together to prepare for the big day. The air was filled with excitement. Women cooked delicious food, children gathered flowers to decorate, and men built a large bonfire for the evening celebration. On the day of the wedding, Lami wore a beautiful dress made from colorful cloth, and her hair was decorated with beads and flowers. Judah wore his best clothes, looking proud and happy to marry the woman he loved. The villagers gathered around, singing joyful songs and clapping their hands. The sound of drums echoed through the village as Lami and Judah exchanged vows, promising to love and care for each other forever. That night, as Lami and Judah went to their new home, they felt like their life together would be perfect. Lami was full of hope for the future, dreaming of the happy days they would spend together. But soon, she would discover a secret that would change everything. Every night after they went to bed, Judah would disappear. At first, Lami tried to ignore it, but it became a regular thing. Lami would wake up in the middle of the night and find Judah gone. No matter how late it was, he would vanish into the night, leaving her alone in the house. When she woke up in the morning, Judah would be back in bed, lying next to her as if nothing had happened. He looked peaceful, his eyes closed and his breathing steady. It was as if he had never left. As the nights passed, she became more and more worried. She loved Judah deeply, but she couldn't understand why he was gone every night. It wasn't normal for someone to leave like that, and it made her feel uneasy. Eventually, Lami decided to ask Judah about it. "Judah," she said one morning, her voice soft but serious, "why do you keep disappearing at night? I wake up and you're gone. Where do you go?" Judah paused for a moment before answering. He didn't meet her eyes and his voice sounded casual, like it wasn't a big deal. "Oh, I was just checking on the animals," he said. "Sometimes I wake up and feel like I should make sure everything is all right." Lami nodded, but she didn't believe him. His answer didn't feel right. She knew Judah cared about their farm, but it seemed strange for him to leave every single night. And why didn't he ever tell her before leaving? The next night, it happened again. Judah disappeared, and when Lami asked him about it the following morning, he gave another excuse. "The wind woke me up," he said with a shrug. "I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk to clear my head." Lami wanted to believe him, but deep down, she knew something wasn't right. Judah was hiding something from her, and she could see it in his eyes. There was a flicker of guilt there, something he was trying to keep from her. He tried to act normal, but his excuses didn't make sense. Why would someone leave every single night without saying anything? Lami couldn't stop thinking about it. The more she thought, the more worried she became. What was Judah doing when he disappeared? Why wouldn't he tell her the truth? The questions kept swirling in her mind, and her heart felt heavy with doubt. She loved her husband, but now she felt a growing fear inside her. Something strange was happening, and she was determined to find out what it was. One night, Lami made a plan. She pretended to be asleep, but secretly she stayed awake. As the moon rose high in the sky, Judah quietly got out of bed. Lami watched as he dressed quickly and tiptoed out of the house. Carefully, Lami followed him, staying far enough behind so he wouldn't notice her. She followed Judah deep into the forest, where the trees grew tall and the shadows seemed to whisper. Finally, they reached a small clearing under the moonlight. What Lami saw next made her heart stop. Judah began to change. His arms and legs twisted and stretched, fur grew all over his body, and his face turned into a snout with sharp teeth. He wasn't fully human anymore, but he wasn't a full animal either. He was stuck in between, like a half-wolf, half-man. Lami gasped in fear. She tried to stay quiet, but the shock was too much and she let out a scream. Judah, now in his wolf-like form, turned toward her, his glowing eyes full of sadness. He didn't attack her, though. Instead, he fell to his knees, his body shaking with shame. "Lami," Judah whispered, his voice full of sorrow. "I never wanted you to see this." Lami was too shocked to speak at first, but then she gathered her courage and asked, "What happened to you, Judah? Why are you like this?" Judah hung his head low. "I am cursed," he said. "When I was younger, before I came to this village, I made a terrible mistake. I was greedy and wanted more wealth. I stole from a sacred forest, a place protected by powerful spirits. As punishment, the spirit cursed me to become this creature every night." Judah looked up at Lami, tears in his eyes. "I've tried to break the curse, but nothing works. I didn't want to lose you, so I hid the truth." Lami's heart hurt for her husband. She could see how much he was suffering. "I love you, Judah," she said softly. "We'll find a way to break this curse together." After Lami discovered the truth about Judah's secret, witnessing his transformation into a half-human, half-wolf creature, he became trapped in this form, unable to fully return to his human self. Judah, filled with shame and sorrow, remained in the forest, hiding from the world, afraid to return home as a man or a beast. Lami went to her mother, the village healer, for advice. Her mother told her that breaking such a curse was not easy. Lami would need to face 3 hard trials. The first trial was to climb the forbidden mountain and find a special plant called the moon's tear. This plant only bloomed under the full moon, and it had the power to heal. Lami knew the journey would be dangerous, but she was brave. She climbed the tall mountain, where the path was rocky and the winds howled loudly. Along the way, she faced wild animals and tricky paths, but she didn't give up. She kept thinking of Judah, and that gave her the strength to continue. Finally, after a long and hard climb, she found the glowing moon's tear plant growing near the top of the mountain. Carefully, she picked it and made her way back down safely. For the second trial, Lami had to visit the spirit of the river. This spirit was powerful and controlled all the water in the land. To get the spirit's help, Lami had to give up something very special to her. She thought about what she loved the most, and then she took off the bracelet her mother had given her on her wedding day. It was her most precious treasure, but she was willing to give it up for Judah. Lami offered the bracelet to the river spirit, and in return, the spirit gave her a small vial of enchanted water. "This water will help break the curse," the spirit said, "but you must use it wisely." The last and most difficult trial was to face the guardian spirit that had cursed Judah. This spirit lived deep in the forest, where few dared to go. Lami was scared, but she knew this was the only way to save her husband. When she reached the guardian's sacred place, the spirit appeared before her as a giant creature made of vines and roots. Its eyes glowed, and its voice boomed through the forest. "Why do you come here, human?" the spirit asked. "Your husband broke the law of the spirits. He must suffer for his actions." Lami stood tall, even though she was afraid. "I come to ask for your forgiveness. Judah regrets what he did, and he has already suffered. Please lift the curse." The spirit stared at Lami for a long time before speaking again. "Very well," it said, "but know this, breaking the curse will not be easy. You will have to share part of the burden." Without hesitation, Lami agreed. She loved Judah so much that she was willing to do anything to free him. The spirit told Lami to grind the moon's tear into a paste and mix with the enchanted water. Then pour the enchanted water over Judah's heart when he was in his half-wolf form. She thanked the spirit and went back home safely. That night, she did as instructed, and went back into the forest where Judah was hiding. She held the vial of water and poured it over his chest. Judah let out a cry of pain as the magic worked. Lami felt the curse trying to pull her in too, but she stayed strong. Slowly, Judah's wolf features began to disappear, and his body returned to normal. The curse had been lifted. But as the spirit had said, Lami now carried a small mark of the curse within her. She could feel a bit of the animal's strength inside her, but it didn't control her. It was just a reminder of the love and bravery she had shown. Judah was finally free from the curse, and he and Lami returned to the village together. The people of Toba welcomed them back with open arms, and their love for each other was stronger than ever. Lami and Judah's story became a legend in the village, a tale of love, courage, and sacrifice. And they lived happily, knowing that together they could overcome anything. If you were Lami, would you go this length to save your partner? I hope you enjoyed this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting stories like this. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.